What is up, folks? This is J.R.R, and welcome back to TolkienCraft II. So, this is the second time I'm recording this because the first time I tried recording it, apparently I was at least partially brain dead. So hopefully this one isn't quite as bad as that. But yeah, I was listening to it, and while I was recording it, I was like, gosh, I can't remember the name of anything. I couldn't remember the name of the pack. My words were getting mixed up. It was just terrible. So I went back and listened to it, and I was like, is this really as bad as I thought it was when I recorded it? And yeah, it was. Alright, so we're going to do a couple things in this. I'm going to take a look at some of the wand cores. And let's go over to thaumaturgy. We're definitely going to make the wand of equal trade. We'll probably make all of them and make ourselves a focus pouch as well, just to hold everything, because there's a lot of different wand cores and that can take up quite a bit of a room. So we're going to go through and take a look at some of those just in case you're not familiar with them. And I would like to go ahead and get a reed farm going that is an actual reed farm and not just reeds that are growing on the side of a lake. So we'll see the little special twist that we put on that. Little hint, we're going to use applied energistics and some of the really cool stuff that can work with that, because it takes up a very small amount of space, but you can still get a lot from it. So we'll be taking care of that at the end of the episode. But first, we'll go ahead and touch on TholmCraft. Alright, now you see that I have a Thaumium Embossed Silverwood wand now. There's nothing in it. Haven't used it yet. I actually just made it. But we couldn't make it with this one. What I ended up doing is going ahead and using a reed wand. Alright, so as you can see, the capacity is 75. So it has, 25 more than our copper one, and that's plenty to make what we needed. Now, I'm still not sure on the discounts. I noticed that one of the viewers, the last video, mentioned that you should get a wand focus and upgrade it, and or enchant it. I guess not upgrade it, but enchant it to potency 3. Impotency 3. That would actually be kind of funny. Um, yeah, just have a random chance to have an enchantment that actually makes it worse. But yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So that is definitely a possibility, just because it's a bit strange. I don't know if that's a workaround for it or if that's, what's intended, because it's really strange that the discount would apply more to 2 of them and not to the rest of them, because the costs are standard across all of them. And the discounts were definitely working on these 4, but on Ordo and Perdito, they were applying more than it was to these, which is just really, really strange. But yeah, so I'm going to still look into that a little bit, but there's a way that we could craft what we needed without, doing anything super fancy. So I just made a reed wand and worked from there. And I think that's the way that it's supposed to work out, because this spider is driving me crazy. So I'm hoping he's over here. I hope. No? Doesn't look like it. Maybe there's another cave there. Yeah, it looks like we're like way far away from where the spider would be. I can see it on my mini map. But maybe he's actually above us, but it just seems like it's a little loud for it to not be. Oh, you know what? There is a little cave right here. What are you? But yeah, anyway. No, it sounds like he's above us. I don't know. But it may be intended, but it just seems a bit strange to me. It doesn't seem like it would be something that would go without, being explained. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But yeah. So let's go ahead and move on from there and go ahead and make a few wand foci. So the first one that I want is equal trade. Now, why do I want it? Well, because this one is, really? Do I have to make 4 balance shards for it? I guess that would make sense because it's an extremely powerful wand focus. That's really, really, really good. But yeah, what this does is it allows you to trade out 1 block for another for a little bit of V. So it doesn't actually cost that much, but it'll allow me to automatically translate all of this stuff into normal stone. Now another way you could do that, I think there's one that actually smelts it in place, but I think that one is part of Thaumic Tinkering, which I don't have that opened up yet. Now it might be, I don't think it's this one. Let me take a look. Simple but useful tool. Okay, so it just sends out fire. Alright, so let's go ahead and do what it takes to get the other. Now, I did make a cauldron that I have just sitting down there for really simple transmutes. So that's what we're going to use for that. I would like to go ahead and have this put up somewhere. I don't want to put it in there because it's going to be stuck in the AE system, so I'll just put it there. Okay, so we're going to need how much each to make this? Let's go and click here and here, so we're going to need 2 each of the aspects. So we're going to need 4 of each type of shard. Okay, so let's go and type in shard. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Etc. Etc. Oops, that's 5. And I'm sure this is making for extremely entertaining video, but it didn't take long. Alright. So let's go ahead and get some water. So I'm going to need a bucket, because I don't have any water down there at the moment. So we'll run out here and just grab a little bit of water. I don't have an infinite spring inside the base because I haven't really needed one. I would like to make an everfull urn, but I don't have that recipe just yet. So I just put this down here, and we'll go ahead and toss in all of these. Now, how best to do this? I guess I'll just toss in all of them at the same time, hopefully. Hopefully this doesn't end up making something else. Whoops. I just tossed all of those back in there. Oh, no I didn't. Phew. Talk about panic. I thought I might have tossed the balance shards in there, and I was like, no! That's horrible. Oh, I need my wand equipped to do that. And, yeah, it's just going to make a mess. But that's easy to clean up, so not a big deal. I actually made this little spot right here so it'd float up there, but it doesn't always float, so sometimes it spreads across the ground. Alright, so no more water in there, but that should be fine. I think that's all the balance shards we need, at least at the moment. Don't know. Well, that doesn't look like it takes any, but it does take infusion, which takes a lot more work, but not a big deal. Alright, so what do we need at the moment for this one? Alright, so we need some nether quartz and some quicksilver. Alright, so that shouldn't be a problem. Just put Q, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything we need. Alright, so we'll jump down here and make our focus because, oh my gosh, I'll be so happy to have this. And I could have made it earlier, but, you know, all things in good time. Alright, so one focus equal trade. Cool. Alright, so we can use this one. Alright, so did I actually... Ah, good. There we go. I thought I changed the key bindings, and I actually did, but I remembered what it was too, so that's no problem. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some regular stone in our inventory, because that's something that you need to do. You need to have actual stone or you need to have the end product in there before it'll actually work out to anything else. Will that be enough stone? Maybe. Alright, so we're going to shift right click. Yeah, to set it. Okay, so let's shift right click on the stone. And then, ta-da! Real easy. Just go around hitting all of the stuff that you want to change over to actual stone. So it's not difficult at all, and it's so nice to have this not look absolutely horrible. Now, you can go around changing by hand, of course. I mean, but, you know, so germane. And yes, I did mean germane and not German. You don't know what germane means? Go look it up. Alright, so stone. How much do we have of it? I'm not seeing it. Oh, 440, so that's plenty. So let's... No, I don't want glowstone. That's the only downside to having everything in the AE system, is that it tends to change place. And for stone, you can't get any more specific because, well, it's just called stone. So, the thing that you need to keep in mind with this wand focus is it connects, or it changes anything that's connected to it. Another option is to left click, and it'll change just one. So if you're wanting to be very specific on what you change, go ahead and just left click instead of right clicking. So yeah, I'm gonna run around and do this a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay folks, so I worked on that for a little while, and I also ran one of these interfaces down here so that we can not have to run up there every time, you know, we need to. So I might change the location of it because that pillar kind of gets in the way, but I wanted it to be fairly accessible to both this area and this area. Granted, all I'd really have to do is put one over here and then put one over here. I mean, so it's not like that's, you know, all that complicated, and these are not that expensive. So, alright, so what do we need to go from here? Alright, so I want to make a focus pouch. And to do that, we need some leather and some gold, some of this stuff down here, Ordo, Terra, and Perdido, 10 of each, and a mundane belt. Now, I don't have any of the belts, I do not think. Actually, yes I do. Cool, because that saves me some leather. Hey, Val. So let me go ahead and do that. Alright, so we needed some leather. Oh, well, she left too. I know Spyro was having some problems with, I think it's 3. But yeah, anyway, I think that was 3. I'll just leave the rest of the leather in there. I need some gold, and I needed that, so I think that's all I needed. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything mentioned, but, yeah, I did notice that she hasn't been, doing her, whatchamacallit, her, streaming. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so we did need more, but we've got it on us, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alrighty, so we'll just do like that, like so, and that there, and that there. And that's interesting. It takes 10 of these and 9 of these. So again, that just makes me think that it's, I don't know, it's a little strange. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our focus pouch, because that should be amazing. The nice thing about the focus pouch, you don't even have to have it on your bar. Let's go ahead and grab a few more focuses that we can put in there, or foci, excuse me. Alright, so I think I have them in here. Pretty sure I had 2. Actually, I think one of them's in my AE system. And then the other one should be in here. I'm not seeing it, though. Maybe I'm just blind. I don't know. Oh, maybe did I put it in here? Yeah, there's our warding one. Okay. So, and I think the other one I put in here. Yep, cool. Okay, so this one's the shock one. Alright, so I might go ahead and make the rest of them off camera, since you've already seen me make a few of those. Let's go ahead and stick these guys in here. So we'll just right click on the pouch. And you can see it has plenty of room for all your focuses, so, or foci, excuse me. I want to say focuses, but from math I know it's foci, so. I don't want it to be any of them. Okay, there. No, that just did the frost one. I know there's a way to take it off. There we go. Okay, so shift and then your. I have it set to V. I think it's normally set to F. So my shift is actually F. So for me, it's actually kind of strange. So it's like F, V, and then right click. So that's a little odd, but I think it's usually Shift F right click to take it off. So because we're probably not going to use this Great Wood Wand anymore. It is possible, but not very likely. Alright, so I'll just put that right there. I don't really like that. Let's go and right click that. Oh. Oh, you're kidding. Well, apparently we will not be using that wand core anymore, or that wand period, because for some reason it landed way over here, but it burned up in the lava. So let's not do the same thing with the reed wand, just because I'd like to have more than one, just in case. I guess I could lose this one and need the other one. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to make some other focuses foci off camera, and then we'll be back. Alright, so see you in a little bit. Alrighty folks, so we're back, and it's actually been quite a while, but yeah. So again, if I end up coughing, I apologize, still dealing with health stuff, so that's fun. But I wanted to let you guys know that, well, I would say that I found out, and I guess in a way I did. I found out through somebody in the comments section that, well, I was being a complete derp. Well, of course, these were going to have a problem with Ordo and Perdito, because as you can see right here, they have the copper wand caps. So those are specialized for Ordo and Petito, and I was just being a derp, and yeah. So right here you can see the obvious problem. As soon as I read wand caps, I was like, oh, I can't believe that. But yeah, so that was the issue. It's the copper, but yeah. Alright, so everything should be fine. It works perfectly fine as far as just using the thaumium caps or the golden caps or, you know, whatnot. So yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few of our foci. Alright, so what have we got so far? We have the fire, we have excavation, frost, shock, equal trade, which we showed, and warding, which we picked up through quest. And that's probably a good thing, because the warding ones are actually kind of expensive. So it was really nice to pick that up that way. And don't choose the sleeping bag. It's usually either the warding cap or the sleeping bag, and you need a nether star for this. And you need wool for the sleeping bag. So mostly directed at another server member who picked the sleeping bag. I was like, oh no, you didn't do that. Alright. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. Alright, so for the fire, it's really simple. Doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, but there's some upgraded versions of this one that are actually pretty cool. So for this one, a nice little orangey red cap here. It does, oh, it actually makes bubbles. It's kind of cool. But don't hold it down too long because it actually drains things at a decent rate. So it will set people on fire, like so. And we'll use the Coven Witch over here as an example. Because I think... Will you heal yourself? Yeah, you'll heal yourself. Alright. Oh. Nope, I'm going to be out of range. Thank you. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at another one. Excavation can wait since we're dealing with our little witch down here. Frost. Alright, so that one... We'll just throw these little balls, which are kind of cool because they bounce around. So if you throw them around, say over here, they'll just bounce across the landscape. Or they'll bounce against things and ricochet back, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so what else have we got? Let's go ahead and do the shock. That should be good. Now, I really like this one. Just because of the graphics on it. Nothing's kind of cool. We'll go ahead and kill the witch because... Just because. Alright, so what did I get? Oh, another hand. I have so many hands at this point, I'm just going to toss it. Alright, so as far as excavation goes, the excavation one is actually kind of neat, but I don't know that it's actually worth it. Just because, well, it costs a lot to excavate. So it is a good way to get through a lot of land fairly quickly if you have, you know, you don't have things like these. But by the time you actually get to making the focus for this, you'll probably end up having those. So, yeah, I don't know that it's really that great. Now, if you upgrade it with the focus, the potency, then it can actually do basically the same thing as the, like, 3x3 version of this. So, that can be kind of cool, but at the same time, you're using a decent amount of, yeah, you're using, what, 0.15 tera per tick? And that's actually, it may not sound like much, but you can eat through your tera really quick, or your V in general, when you're using stuff like this. Now, the really cool one that we have at the moment is the warding one. I mean, yes, the equal trade is amazing, don't get me wrong. The warding is actually really nice as well. Now, for the warding, we'll go ahead and just use it out here. The really awesome thing about it is, if you right-click on a block, as you can see here, not interesting. Alright, so while you have the wand selected, you can see what you've warded, which is pretty cool. And then you select off of it, and you can't see it. Everything looks normal until you try to hit it. And then you can see those really, really awesome particle effects. But you can no longer break these guys. So that is pretty awesome. Not only is it good for protecting against people with unsavory natures, it's also extremely nice for making things like wither kill chambers. Because, well, actually it's not that big of a deal in this one because we have the explosions turned off as far as damaging the landscape. But in normal situations, withers can be a little bit of a pain just because they'll, make the cave spot that you dig bigger and bigger and bigger, and you end up with a size cave that you're like, well, why did I do this in the first place? So it makes killing withers a whole lot easier. So, big fan of this one. And again, you'll just shift and then F for getting these off of your wand. Because you don't want them to have them there all the time. Because, well, one thing, some of the functions of it aren't going to be there if you have one cap on. Or a foci, excuse me. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to making our sugarcane farm. Now, this is going to be really, really simple and pretty awesome. Alright, so I'm just going to empty some of this stuff in here. I don't really need two wands on me, but, whatever. Alright, so what are we going to need for this? We're going to need some annihilation planes. Alright, so we'll do it this way. Alright, so there's some fluid ones done with extra cells, and there are some applied energy sticks too. We're going to need these. And these are going to need 3 of these guys, so any type of fluid crystal, it can be pure or otherwise, and some annihilation cores. Now, I don't know how many annihilation cores I have in here, so let's just see. We don't have any. Well, that makes things a problem. Alright, so actually I don't think we have many logic processors in here at the moment, but I only really need 4. To do more than that's probably just going to be a waste. So let's go ahead and just make 4 of those. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and just make these guys. Oh, it's already in my inventory. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da. And we're going to need some cables. Okay. And buckets. I just need 1. And I'm going to do sand because I like the texture of it a little bit more than I do of dirt. And I'm going to do, of course, I always call them reeds, but it's actually sugar cane. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Alright. I'm trying my best not to cough at the moment. Alright, so where do we want to put this? I guess that's really the question. I'm going to go off camera here for just a second and decide where I'm going to put it because I'm not seeing a good place, really. I'm kind of thinking back there where that is, but I already have that set up, so I don't really want to put it there. Alright, so I'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, folks, so I've cleared out this little area here. I decided to put it back here out of the way because it's out of the way. Just because this isn't the area that I want a lot of farms to be, but I need some reeds before I end up setting up where my farms are going to be. So, yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and just center this thing. It's actually not going to need nearly this much space, but I want it to be a little bit roomy, so we've got that going. Alright, so let's go ahead and just going to combine those. Put our sand down. Now we're only going to do 4 because we're going to end up with a ton of reeds just from these 4. Because the server is up all the time, so whether I'm on or not, this area is chunk loaded. So, you know, it's just something to keep in mind. Alright, so it's going to be right here, right? Yeah. Alright. Again, trying not to cough, sorry about that. We're going to set these up like this. Now, I know they get to be 3 tall, but if they're going ahead and being annihilated on the second one, they're never going to grow past that, so that's not going to be an issue. Alright, so really, I would like to hook it into the system over here. So, I guess what I can do, and this floor is only 1 thick, isn't it? Well, that's a bit of a problem. I was just trying to get the cables out of the way, and really this thing is extremely in the way. I didn't plan on expanding the place out this way. Honestly, I'd planned on getting out of this completely, this little area here, before I ended up running into space issues. But I guess that's neither here nor there. You know what? What I could do... Yeah, I think this is actually a decent idea. Okay, so if we have 2 more slots here. If we just add reeds as one of them, then it's going to save us quite a few cables. So what I'm going to do is run this guy right... Well, that's going to connect, isn't it? Yeah. Thankfully, I have plenty of channels on this cable, so I don't need to go get a strut or anything. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do like that. And what's going to happen is anytime that these reeds grow, well, let me go get some reeds and I'll show you. Because it's always a little bit better to be, you know, to see it yourself. So, alright, so not reeds, sugar cane. Okay. It's one of those things that before items actually had names, well, certain things had been given names. And actually, was sugarcane's one of those? I think they might have been. I could be wrong on that, but... Oh, you know what? There are 4 of these. It's true. Looks like this is still okay. Let me make sure and check the rest of them, just to make sure that everything's still hooked up. Okay. So all these are blue, as you can see. You need to look right here to see if they are having a problem or not. It looks like everything's okay. Oh, nope. Actually, these 2, which are 2 of the most important ones on here, are having a problem. Okay, so we're going to need to do that a little bit differently. Let's go get some struts. Are they not called struts? What are they called? Anchors? Yes, they're called anchors. Okay, so we just need 1. So let's go ahead and put that there. And thankfully this is a really simple fix. So I wanted you to connect up there. Let's go ahead and disconnect this one. And multi-parts and items don't get along very well. So let's do like that, and then everything is nice. Yay. Alright, so everything should be working again. If I go back over here, so you can see they've turned blue again. Alright, so I want to import or export into this chest any sugarcane that we get. And I also want to import the sugarcane into the main system. So that should work just fine. So anything I put in here will get sucked out. So that's awesome. Alright. So let's go ahead and go over here and show you guys exactly how this works. Alright, so as you can see, whenever this grows to its second tier, it's immediately going to be sucked into the EAE system. And then from there, it's going to be sucked into the chest over here that we just set up. So that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah. So it's easy to transport things from this system to the other one because I already have it set up to do that. So whenever we have these guys grow, and I'm not going to set up anything to enhance their growth because, again, 4 is going to be plenty, just because the server's up all the time. So 24 hours a day, these things are going to be growing, so I don't need to add any growth enhancement stuff. Alrighty, so this is going to be a shorter episode today. Hopefully I'm doing better tomorrow and can record something that's a little bit longer. I probably will try to record something for Sunday, just because I missed Friday. So, yeah, I was trying to balance things out for you guys a little bit. Alright, so that's a really simple build. Really, really simple, but extremely effective. So, if you need sugarcane or cactus or anything like that, that's a good idea to go ahead and make these guys like this. Alright, so that's going to be it for today, and until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day.